What's the ultimate everyday carry blade? A sleek folding knife, a dependable fixed blade, or maybe the unsung hero, the multi-tool? Well, today we're diving into the pros, cons, and real-world scenarios so you can decide what earns a place in your pocket. This is This or That Knife Edition. Let's get into it. All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. And today we're tackling one of the biggest questions when it comes to everyday carry. What is the best blade to have on you every day? The knife is one of those everyday carry tools that you will likely use the most. I tend to use my knife, my flashlight, and watch more than any other item daily. Now, this video isn't going to necessarily speak to any specific brand because I honestly don't think there are any bad knives, maybe just lower quality ones. So which is the best? The quick draw folding knife, the battle-hardened fixed blade, or the multi-tool, the Swiss Army knife for the modern age? Listen, I've carried all three, and I've been glad that I've had each one at different times. So today, I'm not just going to throw specs at you, I'm going to share some real-world situations where each one earned a permanent spot in my EDC rotation. Let's start with the folding knife, the most common EDC option for good reason. They're compact, pocket-friendly, and quick to deploy with either a thumb stud, a flipper tab, or even the good old nail nick. Now, one of my first EDC knives was an old school folder that my father gave me. Now, he was the one that told me I should always carry a pocket knife. Recently, I just lost my father, so this lesson has a lot of meaning to me. And this video goes out to my father. Now, it was kind of fancy back in the day. It was a small, yet plain blade, but the handle was engraved with the Statue of Liberty. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, plus I was a kid. Now, this knife opened more boxes, cut more rope, and probably cut more things that I wasn't supposed to back in the day. You were kids, right? It also taught me the importance of carrying a knife daily, because from that first knife, it not only solidified my love for a pocket knife, but it also proved why it was such a great tool. Now, the modern folder can be a workhorse. You can spend $20 for an entry-level gas station knife, or you can drop $400 on a premium brand with premium steel and custom handles. This is a Benchmade, and it costs a little bit more than your typical everyday knife. But here's the thing, every folding knife has moving parts, which means one day something can and likely will wear out or fail. Listen, folks, before we go too much further, I do want to let you know why it makes sense to join Zert for as little as $30 a year. If you're looking to buy anything in the outdoor sporting goods world, you should pay attention to what we're about to show you. Now, if we're talking folders, we have to talk multi-tool. I always keep one in my truck. A Leatherman or a Gerber might not have the strongest or best blades, but let me tell you that they have saved me countless times. So one day I did not do my holster pre-check before putting my firearm in it and putting it in my pants. And while I was driving, I realized that something was wrong with my holster. I checked and I saw that the screws holding the belt clip in place had backed out. So I pulled out my Leatherman signal, I tightened those screws back down, and I was back on my way. Now, I've also used this multi-tool in situations to cut open an Amazon box, open a package of food that wouldn't easily open, and I've even used it while camping, while I was cutting open some packages to cook food, and then to later cut that food. Now, the fixed blade. We can't discount the fixed blade at all. No moving parts, no locking mechanism, just one solid piece of steel. They're stronger, they're faster to deploy, and they'll take all the abuse that you can give them. Now, they do make some high-end ones and some low-end ones, and I'm not sure where they fit when it comes to abuse, but the fixed blades that I have are beasts. So I learned to appreciate fixed blade knives while camping over the last 5 years. In the beginning of my camping journeys later in life, I would bring a camp axe to handle all of the firewood. So we would go to the ranger station and we would get the large bundles of wood, and they had logs in all different sizes. An axe is great for those large jobs, but when you need to get precise with kindling and small feather sticks, it's just a little bit too much and can be dangerous. So After doing some research, one trip, I decided that a great fixed blade knife could perform all of the functions that an axe could. Now, with more precision and less risk. The difference was night and day when it came to preparing firewood. But here's the trade-off. A fixed blade is bulkier depending on the size. And sure, a folder can disappear in your pocket, and a fixed blade will ride on a sheath on your belt, but some things just require a bigger tool. Now, in some states or countries, carrying a fixed blade can be legally tricky. So just check and make sure you're able to carry those based on your state or country's laws. All right, so let's play this out. Imagine a few everyday and not so everyday situations. Your office environment, folder or multi-tool is discreet and less intimidating, and you choose that for the win. Now, camping trips, fixed blade durability wins all day long, but a fixed blade could also cut some of that steak that you've cooked on the grill. Now, unexpected roadside repairs, multi-tool all the way. Not in every situation, but most. For self-defense, a fixed blade deploys instantly, but a trained person with a folder can be just as fast. All right, story time. So, for me, an out-the-front spring-loaded knife is somewhat folder adjacent. And in my opinion, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but I think that they are the worst option for daily carry. I have a few Microtechs, and they require more maintenance than any knife should. Between having to send it in for sharpening or else you void the warranty, or the pocket lint causing the knife to potentially have issues when being deployed, well, that's just not it, and it's not for me. So here's a quick breakdown. Folding knife, compact, discreet, but it has more moving parts. Fixed blade, strongest, fastest to deploy, but it's bulkier. Multi-tool, most versatile, solves more problems, but the blade isn't as strong. For me, it's easy. Monday through Friday, folder in the pocket. Weekend camping, fixed blade on the belt. Multi-tool, always in the truck, no exceptions. So now it's your turn. What do you carry daily? Is it a folding knife, a fixed blade, or do you go full-on MacGyver with the multi-tool? Or is it a combination of those? Do me a favor, drop it in the comments, and let's see what the community is rocking. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and then ring the bell for the next this or that. Until then, you stay safe, stay prepared, and I'm out.